guys, so today I'm gonna go book shopping and I thought, why not take you guys with me? I just finished a book yesterday, which means that now it is time for me to find a new book to read. And since there's nothing really on my TBR that I want to read, I'm just gonna go to the store and see if I can find something. I do have some specific books in mind, but let's just see if I can find them, because living in a small town in the Netherlands often makes it a bit difficult to find the English books that I want to read, but we'll see. But the fun thing about today is that I'm not gonna go book shopping alone, because today I'm going to meet up with Sabine from Sabine's Book Nook. So you'll see her as well in this vlog. We're just gonna have a fun time buying books together. Yeah. So you'll also see her in this video soon. It's like a little book shopping collab, you could say. I don't know if anyone else has this, but when I go book shopping in my town, I have a very specific route along certain bookshops that I take, so I thought I'd just share that with you. So I'm gonna go to the city center and there's just this one big street with all the bookshops. Hello. As I'm editing this part, I noticed that I forgot to mention the first bookstore. So just so you know that before everything that I'm gonna mention here, we first went to a secondhand bookstore. First, I go to this book outlet that has a lot of English books, which is mostly just classics and fiction. Then there is my favorite, really small, super cozy Dutch bookstore that does have quite a decent amount of English and fantasy books. Then a bit further down the line, there's another Dutch bookstore that's a bit bigger. I find it a bit less cozy, so I usually don't shop there, but they have a really great section of antique and secondhand books that often have beautiful gems in them. And then last, my favorite one is the English bookstore. They don't often have the fantasy books or YA books that I want to read, but I still love browsing there. So that's the route we're gonna take. Now we're just gonna have to wait until Sabine arrives, and I'm gonna take you with me on some book shopping. And let's see if I can find the book that I'm looking for. First up is the Secondhand bookstore. I don't know why, but in every secondhand bookstore I see this sci-fi series everywhere. Maybe I should read it. Oh, and these were really pretty covers.
Ooh. The pages are all brown. Oh my god.
Next up was the book outlet. It's a pop-up store in this wonderful old building with books everywhere. There's even a piano. And here I found this book, which is the first fantasy series that I remember reading as a kid. So let me know if anyone else read it as a child. In the next bookstore I found this fave, and I thought this cover was really pretty. Oh, and if anyone has read this new release, let me know if it's good, because it sounds really cool. Then Sabine asked me if I had already finished The Priory of the Orange Tree. I haven't. And last but not least, I found one of the two books that I was looking for today. It was very floppy. This is a a book that I really wanted to read one day, but it's not one of the books that I was looking for at that moment. Then we went to the antique section of the store, and the books there were super, super pretty.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
And this is where I tried to make an artsy shot in between the books, so enjoy that, I guess. The last bookstore was the English bookstore. I thought this cover was really pretty. And they have these beautiful cloth-bound hardcovers of classic stories. If I ever get rich, I just want to spend all my money on these beauties. And then we went back home. This is my big bag of secret books. Okay, well, hi guys. So we just came back from the city center and we went to 5 bookstores.
Yeah, you know it the best. This is your casual, usual book shopping tour.
Usually if I'm like bored at home, I just kind of go this route and just go through all the bookstores. And the book that I was looking for was The Poppy War. Because I can plug.
Ooh, announcement plug promotion.
Sabine and I are having a book club. I already talked about it in a previous video, but in case you're unaware, we are starting the World Readers Book Club, which is a book club in which we're going to read books that take place like all over the world, or fantasy books inspired by other cultures. And The Poppy War is going to be our July and August book. But I didn't own it yet.
Yeah, and you still couldn't find it in the bookstore, so that's sad.
Not a single bookstore had The Poppy War, unfortunately. But there was another book. I bought 2 books, by the way.
Oh, yes you did! I forgot about the other one already.
So the first book that I found is The Uninhabitable Earth by David Wallace Wells, and this is a non-fiction book about climate change. What I've heard people say about this book is basically this is the book you need to read about climate change first, and you're gonna feel absolute despair.
Shame. Shame.
This is just like a long list of everything that's gonna go wrong if we don't do something.
The Game of Thrones, and then like
Yeah.
Okay, and then you see everyone with the Shane Bell, that's this book, and then you're just walking there like, oh my god, you're right.
This is not something I'm gonna read right now because I want like a fiction book to read. And I wanted The Poppy War, but I didn't find it, so I bought another fantasy book that I've been anticipating.
And you might know this title, but you know.
I've heard a lot of people talking about this lately.
Yes.
And it is The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. I don't really know what it's about.
And the description on the back is also really quite vague, isn't it?
It starts with the Great Red Rift. It starts with death.
Oh my god.
It starts with betrayal.
The tension. Wow. This is a book about fantasy and every age must come to an end.
Sounds like The Uninhabitable Earth. Oh, but this is the Broken Earth trilogy.
Is this a conspiracy theory video? What's going on?
I've just heard a lot of amazing things about it, so I guess I'm just gonna go into it blindly.
Yeah.
So I have 2 new books that I can read now. But Sabine, did you buy anything?
Here are my books. I didn't buy anything, but that's good because I told Leonie I have like probably between 150 and 200 books on my TBR, which is the complete opposite of Leonie because these are literally the only 2 books together with maybe...
I have about 20 books on my TBR.
That's insanely small. It seems more as if my hobby is book buying instead of actually reading. So I didn't buy anything, which is good. But
I'm proud of you.
Yes, thank you. I will show you what I'm currently reading.
Yeah.
So look at my wonderful book sleeve. That's perfect. So, some people might recognize this hardcover. Others don't because I removed the dust jacket from it. It is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo.
Whoa, you pronounced that so nice!
I've had a little bit of Spanish in high school,
nice.
Acevedo.
Acevedo.
It's about 2 girls who I think are apparently half-sisters, but they don't know it yet because their father has kind of kept that a secret from them, I believe, and they kind of find that out when their father dies in a plane crash. And this plane crash has actually happened in the real life as well, but it hasn't been talked about in the news a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a flight, I believe, that went from JFK to somewhere in the Dominican Republic,
Nice.
and no one survived, and it's basically about the aftermath of their father dying, and then I guess how they are gonna meet. And there's also a little bit of LGBTQ representation in this because one of the two main characters has a girlfriend. So yeah, I just read a little bit on my train right here, so I'm on page...
Oh, and it's in verse.
And it's in verse, and I'm using Leonie's bookmark.
Oh,
yeah, it's in verse. I'm also listening to the audiobook alongside with it because Elizabeth Acevedo is also one of the narrators of the story.
That's nice.
And I really like it when an author also narrates the audiobook. So
you really know that it's the exactly what they meant.
Yeah.
How to
and how they want to say it, and yeah, until so far intrigued and really liking it.
Cool.
Yeah, so didn't buy anything, but I'm reading a nice book, so
that's good. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Cool.
Everyone give an applause to Sabine in the comments. So this was my Come Book Shopping with Me video in collab with Sabine from Sabine's Book Nook. I will link her channel in the description, so definitely check her out. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon in another one. Goodbye.
Bye bye.